Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest podcast ever of all time. And you don't have to take my word for it. I have here the celebrity Ziggy.
Say whatever you were about to say, I concur thoroughly.
Yep, I've got beautiful... special guest Ziggly Blockley here.
Ziggly Blockley, reporting for duty here. It's always a pleasure.
The big Z.
It's good to be back. Slightly different type of subject this time. We're going to be covering E3 and the conference and, you know, the stories that kind of came from that.
So if you're not interested in bacon sandwiches, don't worry this time. We won't be talking about that.
Listen, we still need the Muslim viewers, man. We're trying to get you back this time. But listen, before we say anything too gamesy, Jesse, I believe you were out of action for a while, man. Fill us in on that.
Well, not really out of action, just kind of... Actually, it was more like for the last week. Randomly, my laptop started getting blue screens of deaths and programs stopped working, so I was having some issues there. I had to switch over to my other PC. I wasn't really able to record videos, but luckily I had a bunch of them already recorded in advance because we did a lot of our Minecraft series. We just kind of had them sitting there, and I'm still trying to get a lot of them out. We're not quite caught up yet. We still got like another hour worth of stuff to get out. So my laptop starts acting up. I take it in to Best Buy to get it looked at, and they tell me that the hard drive's failing, and I'm like, what? 2 years ago, the hard drive failed also, which is why I had to get a new hard drive for that one. This 1 terabyte hard drive I've got now. So I had to get this hard drive replaced again. Lost all my stuff, but I've got back all the important stuff, so it's alright. All the important files I had already transferred off before I took it in.
That is one of the most first world problems I've ever heard in my life. Like I don't think you heard yourself at the beginning there. Yeah.
Well, I didn't claim it to be some big... horrible,
oh no, you
tragic
did.
Issue.
You guys didn't hear. Just before we started recording on Skype, Jesse was comparing his plight to the poverty of the
I was in tears, man. I was in tears.
It was in tears, and it was beautiful, manly tears. But it was tears all the same. But no, I mean, it was just the way you said there. Yeah, my computer broke, so I had to switch over to my other computer. You know how the other half lived, man. I thought I was quite comfortable, man. But
I don't know. I died a little inside. I'll never be the same again.
Hey, you've worked bloody hard for it, man. You must have about 300 YouTube videos.
But yeah, this is the second time that my laptop screwed up, so I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen a third time. So I've already spent like hundreds of dollars on this. If it happens again, I might just get a new one. Because at that point, I'll have paid more than it'll cost for a new laptop on this one.
Yeah, but like, was it like a recurring problem though? Have they said to you what it was with this hard drive?
They didn't tell me what the actual issue is. They just said the hard drive was failing.
They didn't tell you what the issue was. They just charged you to fix it.
Right.
That's Best Buy in a nutshell. But yes, Best Buy aside, regardless of
at least they fixed it. I mean, everything's working good now. So
the outcome
clap,
is
Best
that
Buy, clap.
The outcome is that you're back with us, Jess, and
I'm
that
back.
is the main thing. So E3, what was your overall opinion of it, man?
E3?
You enjoy it?
What's E3, Ziggy? I've never heard of this thing before.
Well, it is. Oh God, now you're gonna have to make me summarize it in a sentence. It is a
gaming
convention where the big wigs and corporates come along and tell you to buy the newest and greatest product because it's 10 times shinier than the old one. Is essentially what it is. But
and it always culminates in a most embarrassing moments video at the end, which is the highlight. The whole thing.
Every single year.
Every year.
I mean, I was saying to you earlier, like, I can't imagine anything coming close to that Minecon embarrassing video.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, that is like, I think it was you that showed me that. That is dedicated wham and all that is literally the worst thing I've ever seen. But I'm still looking forward to the worst times because I haven't seen. I've still got some catching up to do. Like I've been pretty busy.
I didn't see all of this E3. I only saw some of it.
But you've seen the main bits, right? There's the main ones that everyone has to have seen.
Well, I watched the stuff that I was interested in.
Yeah. Like for example, like you were telling me, you kind of mentioned in passing, and I'm sure we'll mention it. The Nintendo conference. I don't really.
I didn't watch the actual conference. I just watched the World Championship tournament at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, well, speaking of that, let's start with that then, because you mentioned something.
Well, that was the very first event, and it was just a tournament. They had a bunch of people. There were a couple YouTubers in there, and then I think some randies I never heard of before.
Randies.
Yeah, that's what I refer to randoms as. Always have, always will. So yeah, they were just there were a couple rounds they're playing, and then the winner is world champion, and they won a signed 3DS from the head of Nintendo.
But where did they sign it? If they signed it on the screen, does that not,
No, they signed it on the back. But, signed screen, who cares? You could sell it on eBay and still get some good money for it.
And then buy an actual 3DS and then some games. So there you go. It's good business, right?
Yep, it works. So I described it to you in some quite not negative light, but kind of, it was kind of,
cynical.
Hard to watch. Cynical light. But I think it wasn't actually as bad as I was saying. I think it was just the chat was warping my opinion because the chat was full of trolls on there, and every time something went slightly wrong, they would blow it up.
Let's bring it back a wee bit, right? The chat. So what was happening? Nintendo's showing off their latest games or whatever, and this is like a live stream chat.
Yeah,
or
everyone was in there being trolls. They're being sarcastic. They're making fun of everything. You know.
You showed me a picture actually.
Yeah, that was from a different chat. The picture, which I'll show on screen. That was from the IGN chat after the championship. So that was basically the whole thing. They had these things going on. There were a bunch of lines everywhere, weird symbols. There were some ASCII Kappas, some ASCII Hitlers going on screen.
I mean, what do they expect? They know the demographic. The internet is the Wild West, man. I mean, I don't condone it, but it's still funny.
It's funny.
You know, it's so beautifully childish. I wouldn't do it, but
it's like some things that were going on in the Nintendo stream. You know, they revealed this 3DS game, which they had mechs running around, and people in the chat were like, "Oh my god, is this Halo 5? Is this Halo 5?" And stuff like that.
Wait, hold on. They thought it was Halo 5.
No, he was obviously joking.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like
okay.
he was. Yeah.
I get it. That's funny.
And they're
that's
saying,
really,
they made Griffball and stuff, and then there's some other people. Like anytime something boring would go on, they'd spam this emote of a sleeping guy. That was the funniest part for me. Like anytime I'd see that would make me laugh. That sleeping guy.
Oh, my mate Andy told me about that as well, man. Well, listen, what was the Nintendo conference on the whole a success though? Like, what were some of the big games?
The conference I didn't watch. I just got some people to tell me what happened.
So, like, the big games, though, like, a friend of mine, Sean McCarthy, man, he loves his Nintendo. Why, I will never know, because it's just...
They're alright. I mean, they were the first game console that I played.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, right? Nintendo...
And I had a GameCube, had a Wii, and then after that I switched to Xbox.
See, that was the era where they kind of lost me. Like, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not old enough to have been there for the launch, but the 64, the SNES, whatever, they were classics. The GameCube was quirky, it was unique, it did things that the PS2 and the Xbox original didn't do.
They probably could have held on to a lot of people if they just had, like, you know, a proper Nintendo Online, you know, where you don't have friend codes, you like have a friends list, add people and stuff properly.
Mate, they pulled off a phenomenal piece of marketing with the Wii. They were well ahead of the curve with what that accomplished, with the whole family demographic or whatever. It kind of changed the notion of what gaming was. But as you will notice, if you were sad enough like me to look at the sales figures, that peaked really, really early, and then there wasn't enough killer software, and there wasn't the lack of real online functionality.
I think the fact that they used the Wiimote gimmick made it like some game companies not want to develop for it.
Well, if I was a game company, you know, I'm kind of getting into app development myself.
And we know that any of the most of the cross-platform games between Xbox, PlayStation, and Wii U, the Wii version was always like lower quality in terms of graphics and stuff.
Or it just didn't work, and the exclusives like Red Steel at the start of the Wii's lifespan.
I remember that. I remember seeing trailers for that.
That was kind of cool. It was again, it was kind of gimmicky, but the thing is, the one thing Nintendo do well, but one thing that Nintendo have always done well is first-party games. They've still got the biggest roster in my eyes. Like, you look at Xbox, they've got Gears and Fable both declining, Halo declining. I'll still probably buy all of them. Sony's got a few amazing ones in their stable as well. But Nintendo, I mean, you look at Mario alone and the amount of classic Mario games that come out, Zelda, stuff like that. First-party is what I feel keeps them alive right now, because they don't get enough third-party support with, in my eyes, good reason, truthfully. Yep. But mentioning Mario, you were saying earlier on about Paper Mario.
I wasn't actually really listening to what you were saying. I was trying to look for something. My friend wanted me to mention something.
I am so used to that.
My friend Josh wanted me to mention something about the Nintendo conference, so I was trying to look for it.
Oh, so the guy who's not doing the podcast is more important than the guy who is.
Right, of course.
What a way to marginalize.
I have to give a shout out to Josh. I mean, he's really cool, you know?
No, I'm sorry, Josh, mate. Your time has passed. You should have done something while you were in college. The moment's gone. You're not going to be a baseball star. Server, you're not gonna be an NBA star, Josh. It's time to give up. Get that? No, but listen, shout him out, man. What you gonna say?
He said something about Nintendo's didn't live up. I'm gonna quote what Josh says. Mentioned that Nintendo's didn't live up to the hype because of the Smash Direct on Sunday, because that was good. So people were like, oh, if they show this here, then it must have better for E3. Also, the Metroid game is not being developed by Retro, who did the main Prime stuff. So all the haters can fuck off.
I like the last bit. It was very succinct.
Yeah, so that's what Josh has to say on it.
Well, there's another exclusive though. He did bring up a good point, and thank you for your input, Josh. But a good point he brings up there is Metroid. Like that used to be pretty massive, like 10 years ago, no?
Yeah, Metroid was cool.
And then they felt like it was a woman, right? Like at first it was kind of like no one knew what gender it was.
It was the big, the big
reveal,
the big plot twist.
all 12 pixels of women. Which you know, I'm sure it was wank bank material back in the 90s, but there we go.
Man.
These
all
days,
those pixels,
times have
man.
all the pixels, brother. So like obviously from the Nintendo conference, we'll go into Microsoft next, an area I know better. But from the Nintendo conference, there was a couple of Mario announcements.
There was a Yoshi game that they announced, which
Sure.
I wasn't really a fan of the art style, and I haven't played one of those since. I had the original Yoshi's Island for Game Boy Advance, and then they released the DS one, which I also had, which I thought that was cool. I didn't get any of the ones after that. But after that, they started changing the art style, and I didn't really like the look of it.
What is it now? Cell-shaded cartoon?
Well, no, what they're doing now is they're making everything look like it's made of string or something. Like it's made of yarn, and that's the gimmick.
Because fuck it, why not?
They did that with a Kirby game, too. They made everything made out of yarn, and like they do different like art styles for it now.
I've never understood the attraction with Kirby. It just looks like a giant testicle.
It was one of the first. It was like the first Game Boy game I played at a friend's house.
Kirby, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't really put in a adult's
the original, the black and white one. The black and white one.
Man, you're younger than me, man. What the fuck?
What?
No, you're younger than me, but it seems like you played all the classics before me, man. That's quite.
Maybe I did. Who knows?
I don't know. I feel like the whole chronology of my life has been.
Well, when did you start playing video games?
That's a good question, actually. I think, right, what am I now, 21, so I probably started playing 2 houses ago. So would have been about 7? So...
Yeah, I think we started out around the same time.
Yeah,
actually,
but
I might have been a little
2001.
earlier. My grandma had an NES, which I'd play when I'd go to her house.
See, the first console I got that actually had bought for me was PS2, and it came with Tony Hawk's Free, FIFA 04, and the original Spider-Man game. Was
the first console I actually had that like was bought for me was the GameCube. So I think PS2 and GameCube were around the same time.
See, I bought a GameCube for my brother's birthday once just because it was cheap.
Man, the GameCube was sick, man. I remember with my friend, he had a PlayStation 1, and inside the PlayStation 1 disc tray, it looked like there was a little, like a smaller section inside. So we were like, yo, that looks like it would fit a GameCube disc. So we'd think that would work, and you'd be able to play GameCube on the PlayStation, but it didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, I mean that tends to be.
That was little kid Jesse.
but that showed that you had the creative instinct to attempt it, and that's the creativity we see these days in your Minecraft videos. Silver lining for everything, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You guys want to know how much I got paid to say that, man? I will let you know in the comments.
A whole whopping $0.
Yeah, man, but it's not about the amount; it's what you spend it on, man.
Okay, what are you gonna spend the $0 on?
Swag.
Okay.
Probably.
I think that's a waste of money, but okay.
Man, you can't buy swag though; it's priceless. You know that, man.
Now you can buy products that have swag written on them, so you can technically buy swag.
Yeah, but if you buy one of those products, you automatically don't have swag.
Or you can buy a bag of loot, which pirates would refer to as swag. So there you go.
A bag of lube.
Loot.
All right, I was gonna say, how fucking white is your ass, bro? You know, nah, one bottle of KY for me, no homo. Nah, but on the real, I think there was another Mario announcement. That my mate Sean posted it on his wall. It was. I just know that it's coming out on September 11. I want to say, which is a unique release date, shall we say? It's
I saw a Vine. I can't. It's because I saw a Vine. I saw a Vine recently, where it was a clip from the Toy Story movie where Buzz and Woody are flying over a truck, and he's like, "Buzz, we're gonna miss the truck. We're not aiming for the truck," and then it shows the 9/11 clip of boom.
My mate, shout out to my boy Anto, man. I was at his house today, like just having a business conversation, talking about Unreal Engine 4, blah blah blah. And there's a very very similar one with Shrek, and there's one with George Bush and stuff. Like I feel bad for laughing, man, but
yeah,
I was laughing, man. Is the real, you know what I mean? Thank God I wasn't affected, but fuck me, you know, funny's funny. Not the incident itself, obviously, unless you're a jihadi, but there we go. So the other Mario game, is that just a regular, like an extension of the Super Mario series? Is it just a platformer?
Which one are you talking about?
Let me bring up Facebook.
So I think I know what you mean, but I want to just make sure.
You think you know what I mean, but you don't want to research it. Okay, so Sean MacArthur. That's his name being mentioned twice, man. You're going to have to be paying me an endorsement soon. So he says, excuse me, it's coming out on Wii U, everyone's favorite forgotten console.
Okay, so that's not the one I'm thinking about.
There we go.
Okay.
So this
is all new. This is world exclusive. I never heard about this one.
just to anyone that doesn't know, it says, let's go. Super Mario Maker arrives on Wii U on 11th of September and includes a hardcover art book. Oh, that'll be limited edition. Oh, it looks like he's controlling it with the stylus here. So could this be for, do you get a stylus with the Wii U, like the Wii controller?
I don't know how it works. I don't have a Wii U.
This actually does look pretty quirky. It kind of, like all the artwork and stuff. This kind of looks like old school Mario, but the animation of Bowser.
Is it Mario Maker?
I think it is. Yeah,
okay,
Super Mario Maker. Maker.
You get basically the graphics and like textures from Mario 1, 3, Super Mario World, and the new Super Mario Bros. And you can like make levels and stuff with all the textures.
That's super dope, man. And Bowser looks amazing there, man. Like that's the best I've ever seen it on a 2D platformer. Bowser looks dope. Awesome, man. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not big on Nintendo or Mario, even though it's a classic. It founded all the platformers I do like, but that actually looks pretty good, man. Shit. So
yeah, they showed it off in the Nintendo tournament. It was the final round, but on screen they kept having these glitches where like it would keep blacking out for a second and coming back in, and then I think there was some frame rate slowdown, so they might want to get that fixed.
I mean, that's the thing, right? I used to watch these conferences or whatever and think, oh my god, how have they not foreseen this? Why have they not got backup plans and all that? But really,
the fun part about watching the conferences is looking for like glitches in the gameplay.
Yeah, but I mean, you realize, right? It's to a lesser extent, right? Obviously, I do sound production or whatever, but you realize when you do live sound or whatever how easy it is for stuff to go wrong and go off script. So, not even looking at the sound side when you bring visuals.
And you remember when the Modern Warfare 3 controller turned off?
Oh, that was funny though. Just because it was Activision and fuck Activision, right? But
they make Destiny, which is a game I like. So
they don't make it; they publish it
along with Bungie.
Yeah, but they put in Bungie or well. Speaking of Destiny then, right, like, before we get on to the Microsoft conference, Destiny's obviously a game that's came out, it's had its critics, its detractors, but it did some things well. I know you're a sympathizer of it.
Yep, I've gotten back into it lately. I've gotten the DLCs, and I'm excited for the Taken King, the next one.
Well, you know I'm not particularly fond of it. It's good at what it does. I just don't think it does enough, especially content-wise. But you say the DLC got you back into it. Is it just more of the same, or is it something a little bit different?
Well, they added a few things. They changed a few things around. They made some of the story a bit better than from the original game. You know, they had like voice actors talking in the missions and stuff. And then some of the missions they added some new things, like some jumping puzzles. They added a new mode, Arena, which is pretty fun to play.
And how much did they charge you for the privilege?
$20.
There you go. There's your kicker.
I mean, I only have 2 Xbox One games anyway, so it's not like I'm spending it.
Well, listen, it makes sense. It makes sense from your point of view, right? Okay, so you're a big fan of the game. You've not got so many games. You're admittedly middle class. Let's bring that into it because why not? So when you factor all these things in, I'm middle class as well. But when you factor that in, it's a relatively simple purchase. Yep. But they're still charging you $20 for something that really should have been on the game. That was my issue with it to begin with.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. But what can you do? Hopefully they
fuck it. I'm all right, Jack. I'm all right, Jack. I can afford it. Come on.
I mean, if they do it on the next game, I'm sure it won't go down as well as it did on this one, because now people know what to expect.
Yeah, but they were saying that about EA for years, and it took them about 6 years to get rid of the season passes, man. So they'll keep doing it as long as they can get away with it.
EA, so funny.
Guys, banter. I love EA, man. Probably
the bants, mate.
The bants. After Bank of America, I'd say EA are probably my favorite company in the world. I just love their whole ethos, the way they treat their customers. I think it's the right way to go. You treat your customers like shit. They keep buying your product. It's just win-win for everyone, really. I mean, honestly, you have to think someone at top brass in EA would say enough's enough. And to be honest, the last year's not been dreadful for them. They're just lucky they've got a lot of cash cows, man. So really, they can afford to keep being bastards to the customers. But such is life. I don't want to waste another second of my life thinking about EA. So, the Microsoft conference. I've seen quite a lot from that. Halo 5, obviously, like we mentioned in the last podcast, I am a massive Halo fanboy, right?
Yep.
That kind of goes without saying. Not so much these days. I think it's been on a slow decline ever since ODST, truthfully. I think Reach was probably the nadir, but Halo 4 wasn't much better. And Halo 5, however, looks pretty good. Like, the thing is, Halo 4 looked good in the trailers and stuff, but I don't really, I wait for gameplay, right? Halo 4 never excited me. I bought it because it was Halo. I was the typical customer that EA would love. I'm not like that with many franchises, but it was Halo, man. Halo 3 was my first game on 360.
Same.
Nostalgia.
My friend got me to get it.
Exactly, and it was like coupled with the Xbox Live thing. I think I said this in the last podcast, but it just made it amazing. So it's one of the few series out with Elder Scrolls and whatever that I'd do that for. I bought Halo 4, got burnt. Before that, I bought Reach, I got burnt. I bought ODST, it was alright, but I still felt that I got burnt because of the price tag. The last Halo that was Halo 3, and I've got the nostalgia goggles on for that one. Halo 5 actually kind of excites me. It seems like enough has changed, but there was enough things to give me cause for concern as well. What were your like, you've seen I'm assuming the online and the campaign footage, right?
Yeah, I saw both. Yep.
What were your takes from that? What did you like? What didn't you like? What's your overall opinion?
Well, starting with the campaign looked pretty interesting. I usually like the campaigns. I like the Halo 4 campaign too, so those are usually good. The only thing I was hoping for were no Promethean Knights coming back. I hated those things.
Yeah, they were a pain in the
when
arse.
I saw instead of the Knights, they had these soldier guys that looked like, like you could probably play as them in multiplayer. Although I don't know, because you mentioned that tweet where you can't play as elites, so I don't know. But it would be cool, having the Promethean character you can play as in multiplayer. So they may look like that instead. Well, you could, unlike the Knights, it looked like you could actually kill these guys with a pistol. Because, I'm pretty sure the Knights died after 5 pistol shots. But if you see them, it doesn't look like they die. So that brings you down. You're like, ugh, these guys again? Because it looks like it's harder than it is because of how big they are.
The problem for me in 4 wasn't even them specifically. It was just the lack of enemy types. It was like 3 types of enemy types, and it just felt, it just became very repetitive. I agree
where
with what
were the
you
brutes at, man?
I know, man. Like,
they showed it in the opening cutscene of Master Chief kicking a brute in the face.
That piqued my interest somewhat, because I thought, wait a minute, even if they just involved them, in a kind of supporting role like they did in Halo 3, that'd be kind of cool, man.
Well, the brutes were the main enemy in Halo 3.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
The elites were on your side. The elites were the supporting characters.
That's it. So they took the place of the elites in the Covenant. Halo fanboy, my ass, right? but it's been a while. But I have to disagree with what you say about Prometheans and multiplayer. Truthfully, I'm a bit of a purist like that. I think the way they've changed the Knights out for the soldier thing, or we don't know if the Knights
are.
I don't know.
It looked like they did.
It did look like that.
You didn't see any Knights in that campaign video.
I agree with that, and I hope you're correct.
I think I saw them in the multiplayer one though. I don't remember.
See, that's the thing. Like, it'd be cool. They look cool in campaign, but Spartans and elites is how multiplayer should be. To me, like, no elites in SWAT, and.
SWAT. Oh man.
That way, I used to play as an elite.
Shoot him in the head, doesn't kill him because you hit the glitch spot.
Because fuck, why? Like, there was no logic to that really. It was just latency and stuff back in Halo 3. But listen, I'm cool with. I wish we kind of had the invasion back, but
we don't know yet. Maybe we will.
Even if we don't, and that would be an even greater addition. How good does Warzone look? Let's be real.
Looks pretty good.
It
looks like it was doing what Titanfall did, but with a lot more people, so it might work a little better.
Yeah, that
Titanfall
too.
had it had the bots running around and stuff they can kill, but it was only 6v6.
Yeah, no, Titanfall wasn't executed particularly well. It was better than I expected it to be, but I played it with my brothers a few times. It wasn't great, but it kind of looks like they're adding kind of some firefight, if you remember on Reach and ODST, some kind of firefight elements into multiplayer. It looks like there's going to be a lot of carnage. I can only imagine how annoying it would be. I was saying to you earlier on, you just get out of a really rough, but out of a really intense BR duel, and a grunt pops you in the head with one needle or something. That's going to be a pain in the arse, but you know what you're getting when you go into that game mode, carnage. It looks like a lot of fun, and I hope they take some of the good things from Halo 4 as well. And I hope they get multiplayer right. It doesn't become, what.
I hope it's not just a Halo 4 clone. Like, they actually fix some stuff.
Yeah. Just balance it properly. A few more symmetrical maps would be nice. I know you're trying to be clever with the asymmetricals and whatever. That's fine. But why not both? You know what I mean?
We need some maps. Smaller, like competitive maps. Like in Halo 4, they only really had one. They had Haven, which was everyone's favorite map. Yeah. The rest of them were like big team maps and stuff and asymmetricals. So we need more competitive maps like the Pit and stuff.
Pit, Guardian.
Guardian was also asymmetrical.
It was asymmetrical,
but it was smaller,
it was fucking
so it
amazing. So a good map is a good map. What we need is, regardless, we need more big team maps, more middle-sized maps, more small maps. We need more maps. Just one thing COD has always done well is it launches with 16 maps. Admittedly, they're all because of the way COD plays, they all play pretty much the exact same with slight variations. Some are better for snipers, shotgun, whatever, but they all play very similar.
I remember the Modern Warfare 2 maps. Good times.
Mate, I still remember most of them, like in terms of the layout, but they all played very similar. You know what I mean? So, in my eyes, except Wastelands, man, that was just
that one. You had to
camp
watch
with
out for
shotguns in the middle
one.
or snipers at the back. Yeah,
yep.
That was stuck in the middle with you. So, Halo looks good. The campaign, I think there's some things I've taken from Gears of War as well. That looks pretty good.
Like what?
Well, just I can't. Was this in Gears Judgment? I don't think anyone.
I mean, I know they took you can revive your teammates and stuff.
You can revive. You can issue
tell them where to go.
Orders,
yep.
which I assume you won't be able to do, obviously.
Oh, and another cool feature is so there is actually 4-player campaign this time, because if you bring in a second player, they take over one of your teammates,
which is dope.
Yep.
As it should be as well. Like, they took that out for Halo 4? No, they didn't. There's always been 4 players, or not?
I think they took it out for Halo. I don't remember, but I think they took it out for Halo 4.
I seem to vaguely remember.
I'm not quite sure.
I think it was still 4 over live. I couldn't tell you.
No. I think they did have it in 4. You just couldn't. There wasn't theater. That's what I'm mixing up.
That was it. Yeah, that's the thing. Let's bring back the full sandbox, right? Everything in Halo.
So I remember you could come in and play as another Master Chief. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, which was dope. Like, in Halo 3, right? It was the start of the real Halo sandbox, as we know it. Theater, Forge, multiplayer, customs, campaign. Not all of it was perfect. There was a 1,000,001 issues with theater, as I'm sure we all remember.
Yep.
Let's just
remember trying to rewind.
Back. Oh my god, I wish I couldn't remember trying to rewind.
Oh man, I just missed that clip a couple seconds ago. Rewind, you're back at the beginning of the film.
Yep. Good times, good times. It sucked balls. But let's have the whole sandbox back, the whole thing. Let's stop stripping features. Lots of maps, lots of everything. You've got a AAA budget, just fucking do it. Other games, Battlefront. What do you think?
I'm not really into Star Wars games, so I can't really say much. It looked nice. I mean, it looked kind of like Battlefield with Star Wars textures. If you're into that, then great.
Wow. Okay, then you can get yourself a taxi, mate, and I'll just continue this. Listen,
okay, see ya.
Are you telling me you never fucked with the Battlefield games? Like, not talking about putting your dick in the case. Like,
Battlefield?
Love the games.
No, I played Battlefield games.
No. Fuck Battlefield. Battlefront, right? Did you never play 1 and 2 on PS2, no?
No, I didn't. I didn't have a PS2.
Right, fair. Well, did you have a... Oh, no, you said 360 was your first console, right?
No,
GameCube.
GameCube was the first one I owned. I played other consoles before that. My friend had a PS2. We play some games there at his house sometimes, but I had a GameCube.
Nah, nigga. Nah, listen, right. Battlefront 2 came out the same day as the Revenge of the Sith DVD, right? And I still prefer the maps on Battlefield 1 were better. But sorry, I keep saying Battlefield, my bad. Battlefront, I know it's Freudian slip.
Well, speaking of Battlefield, I mean, I have Hardline. That's my second Xbox One game. It's pretty good. It's all right.
Well, there we go. We've got a guy here who's hyping up Battlefield Hardline. One of the worst shooters I've ever played in my life.
Really? I disagree.
It's
not too bad. I had fun playing
dreadful. You cannot have a shooter, bro. You cannot have a shooter where the hit detection feels like you're shooting cardboard, man.
Does it? Like, I haven't noticed that. It doesn't feel like I'm shooting cardboard.
It's like when you play zombies on Call of Duty. This is why I don't play it. It's not responsive, man. Like, a responsive shooter to me is Halo. Bizarrely, Call of Duty is very responsive, regardless of what you think. You feel like you're shooting the guns. Battlefield 4 was responsive. But Battlefield's mechanics have always kind of jarred me. I just thought Hardline was shameless. Everything about it was shameless. I played it around my mate Ibby's house. Shout out Ibby. Shout out Ibby. But it was just, I don't know, man. It just didn't feel like a full price game to me. And the pistols were, but Battlefront, bro. Because of what we said about EA earlier, because of EA in general, I don't trust it. They've pretty much stripped away too many features. There's no clones. There is no space battles. Limited campaign. I think the online will be amazing. It will be a lot of fun. But you've had 10 years to make this game. Admittedly, you've not been making it for 10 years.
What, Battlefront?
Yeah, like it was Free Radical that used to Free Radical, right? They made Time Splitters, right? One of my favorite shooter series ever.
Yep.
They had 2 amazing games in their stable. This is about 2007, right? So they got Time Splitters 4 and Battlefront 3 coming out, right? Two games that would have been phenomenal. If you ever looked at the unused footage even then, on PS3 and Xbox 360, Battlefront 3 looks stunning, man, for what it is. You could go from space to the planet. How, I don't know, but you could.
Speaking of that, there was actually a game I saw where you can do that too. Do you know what it is? I don't remember the name of it, but it was a new game that was coming out where you start off like on a planet, and then you can take a ship, you fly up into space, you can get some friends, then you can fly to other planets, and you can land on them and do stuff.
If it actually ends up like that and it's not kind of on rails, that does sound super dope, to be honest, because I think we need something that kind of breaks the barriers like that. But just to finish my point briefly, they released a game for PS3 only called Haze, went tits up, and we never got either of those two games. So the last Battlefront game was a decade ago. So how are you going to come out, a financial powerhouse like EA, how are you going to come out and tell us that we're only going to get 12 maps at launch, which is split 4 maps per each of the 3 planets? That's fucked up. How are you going to tell us that we ain't got Clone Wars, how we don't, you know, like, you're not heavy into Star Wars, so it won't really affect you like that, but I just think, again, they're cutting content as opposed to adding it, but the gameplay looked really, really good, so it's not going to be I don't know if it'll be a day one purchase for me, man. The fanboy in me might get suckered in yet and just buy it. I don't know, man. I need to practice what I preach a little more, top of my wallet, but it's Battlefront, man. And then...
So for all that talk, you'll still end up getting it.
Yeah, man, see, when Luke came out at the end with the green lightsaber and shit, like... I don't know, man. I mean, technically, you should have had the blue lightsaber if we're going to follow canon at that point.
What do you mean blue? I thought they were green.
No, well, I mean, I'm not into Star Wars enough to know the reasoning for it, but basically blue and green are good, and, you know, red's bad, whatever, and purple is
there no second red color then? Only one? Only for the bad guys? You don't get an orange?
I think they couldn't get yellow, and purple is just for Samuel L. Jackson because he does what the fuck he wants. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard the story of why he's got
purple would be for the neutral guy who's not on any side.
Well, they give it to the black guy, so because the black guy, what is it? Standard, man. This is why I'm voting UKIP. No, but you know what I mean. Like, Samuel L. Jackson's just a boss. He says, "I want a purple lightsaber so they can find me," and they did it, man, because it's Samuel L. Jackson, man.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. The guy that played Morpheus. no, but no. On the real, I think it looks super dope, man. And,
All right.
There was some other massive announcements. I'm not sure what it. Means to
Fallout
you.
4.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh.
Take the reins, bro, because you were pretty excited about this one.
Oh, I was? Not really. I wasn't really.
What?
What do you mean? You're saying you're trying to
Right,
say.
so hold on. I thought you were
excited.
Well, I just realized I've been talking for fucking forever, man. So I was like, yeah, he sounds excited about this one. No, but so you're telling me you're not excited about Fallout? You're not excited about Elder Scrolls? You're not excited about Battlefront? You barely remember Time Splitters? You had a fucking GameCube. What?
What do you mean?
What? Like, dog, how can you not be excited for Fallout, man? This is Fallout we're talking about here.
Mostly just because I didn't play the other Fallouts.
I've seen gameplay
of them.
3?
I've seen gameplay of them, but I haven't actually played them myself.
Oh, get me off the airwaves, man. I'm out.
See ya. I'll call a taxi.
I need a spliff, man. Listen, I wasn't even huge on Fallout the way, like, I used to geek out on Elder Scrolls, right? Fallout was dope, right? I had all the gamer score, inclusive of DLCs, right, on Fallout 3 for 360, and I didn't even mess
And yet
with
you complain about me getting Destiny DLCs. Jeez, man.
Oh, but that, you know, out with I think Fallout was like 3 for 5 for like really good DLCs, man. Operation Anchorage sucked balls, but the rest were pretty good. I mean, that just absolutely sucked balls. But I mean, I can understand some criticisms of Fallout 4. Like, looking at this, right, obviously you're a kind of newcomer to the Fallout series, I guess you would say then.
Yeah.
When you seen it as a kind of outsider looking into the franchise, looking to potentially buy it, what were your viewpoints? What looked good? What were you not really fucking with?
Well, I like the fact you can build bases, although I'm kind of about you can only do it in some places where they let you.
You can understand why, though. You can understand why.
The dialogue, I know, always seems interesting and stuff, but the walking animations look quite finished.
It sucks, man. Like, you described it in a certain way earlier.
I described it as it looked like claymation, where there were just a couple frames missing in the walking animation.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the animation as a whole still looks pretty clunky, which is weird to me because the gap...
the environments look nice, though. So they did good on the environments.
Yeah, and the textures look a lot better as well. But if you look how much the animation improved between Oblivion and Skyrim, you assume it's not going to be all the same people, but the same, you know, rough team. You'd assume the same animators. Then how come the jump between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 with an additional...
When's the game coming out? Do you know?
Because
maybe it's just not finished yet. Maybe it's just an early demo.
I don't know if they said if it was beta or alpha or whatever. Hold on, let me double check.
Because that'd be a big difference, because then they can end up fixing all those things, like the walking animation and stuff.
Bethesda out with Skyrim have pretty much
Bethesda,
whatever. You know, they've pretty much got a track record for pretty clunky animation out with Skyrim.
Well, maybe that's just their thing, so people are used to it.
It's not really much of a thing, though, is it? Yeah. I'm a footballer.
I mean, back when I was doing Halo stuff, color correction was my thing. I'd always use a lot of color correction.
Yeah, but I mean that's probably the worst analogy I've ever heard in my life, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll give you that.
I lived with my father for 15 years. I've heard some bloody terrible analogies, man. Right, hold on. Fallout 4 release date. It's definitely been given, so let me just bring this out, showing my inability
coming out in 2020.
Coming soon.
That'd be more like Half-Life 3.
Oh god, I know, man.
Coming out in 2065 or 2033 maybe.
That would be dope.
Announced by President Obama.
Been in office for 40 years as a dictator, man. Okay, so that
reminds me, actually, at the beginning of the Sony conference, they were hyping up this big new world exclusive game.
Hola. 10th of November 2015.
Okay. When?
Oh, it's gone, mate. You need to rewind the footage and listen and get that.
I heard 2015.
10th of November 2015. You can get Fallout 4, but there's no pre-order date yet.
Okay, I mean, they still got time to fix stuff there.
I doubt they will, but
almost half a year.
Yeah, I liked it, man. The combat still looked kind of shit, but it looks like a step up. So I'll be getting it day one.
Choose where you want to shoot the guy.
Yay! You were saying Sony.
Okay, so yeah, Sony, because this is going off of mentioning Half-Life 3. So at the beginning, Sony was hyping up this big world exclusive we're proud to announce finally after such a long time in development, and the chat was going nuts. Half-Life 3. And then it was like this game. I don't remember what it's called. It was Guardian something, but it was like just the guy running around doing some jumping puzzles. It was just like wind sound effects in the background, and the chat they spammed the sleeping guy emo, and they're like, I'm done. Next.
You could hear the collective sigh of all of them.
The one chat message that like just got me, like I was just laughing at this one. He says, "I'm so excited," and then he puts the sleeping guy.
Hey, there we go. If you're gonna keep us in suspense, we're gonna keep you in suspense. I mean, that does kind of suck, but I mean, what did they expect? They were basically building that up for a kind of negative emotion towards. Is it a new franchise?
I think it was a sequel to a really old game that a lot of people liked, so I think that's why they were doing it. I just don't remember what it was. So yeah, there were people who were excited for it because it was an old game that they were making a sequel for.
To be fair, I think people need to stop expecting that every big announcement, unless it's coming from Valve and it's got that free on it. And even then,
yeah, why would Half-Life 3 be coming from Sony? Yeah, think about that.
You know, I think people have got lost in the meme, and they've probably not even played the second one now. You know what I mean? which was a classic, but it was also 10 years ago. Get over it.
10 years ago?
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 2 was 2004.
10 minus 7 is 3. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Fuck. That's how they do it, though. Everyone's either Half-Life 3 confirmed or fucking Illuminati, man. You know what I mean? People are tripping on some.
I'm sure they do have something to do with this. You know,
mate, I think it's definitely the Illuminati, man. If it wasn't for the Illuminati,
they're holding the game back. That's all. They need to edit it to make sure they aren't in it.
That's exactly what I've heard, man. So I'm glad. Are we Illuminati? That's a question to our listeners.
Well, I don't know about you, but I got the weekly memo in my email. So
I've not got mine for a couple of weeks, man.
I'll forward it to you. Don't worry. But tells us about taking over the world.
I wouldn't forward it to me, though, just in case, because I've not got mine for 2 weeks. Maybe they've not told me I've been kicked out yet. If you forward it, you could be seen as an accomplice.
Watch your windows. There might be someone out there.
Man, I've only got one window to watch now. I'm back at my mum's house. I hate it. But yeah, on the non-Illuminati Sony tip, who probably are Illuminati themselves.
Who knows? Ooh, Sony, what are you hiding?
Standard Japanese. I never trusted them since Pearl Harbor. No, but listen,
Ziggy, man, chill, man.
Nah, man, listen, I like my sushi, man. But no, on the real though, Sony, was it them that released Shenmue, right?
That was one that I haven't heard of that you mentioned in the list.
Well, yeah, no, it was just third mention of the night to Sean MacArthur. He was just losing his shit over Shenmue.
You gotta start paying that guy for all these tweets.
Man, no, because the guy's never worked a day in his life. He's not getting no more free money, man. I love him, man, but that's the last thing he needs. And my college boys will vouch for that. But no, Shenmue apparently was like the kind of sole light of the whole Dreamcast. Oh no, wait, surely it's Sega then? So does Sony own Sega now?
Dude, I don't know about Sega because I know Sega makes games for Nintendo too.
Yeah, well, obviously Sega.
I think Sega's just a third party. They just make for other consoles.
Yeah, but
I don't think they're owned by any of them.
But I'm just thinking, like, you won't remember. I was 4, I think, when the Sega Dreamcast came out. But Shenmue was definitely Sega Dreamcast. So hold on, right? I really should have researched this ahead of time, but
okay, go ahead.
That would have made too much sense. Right, Shenmue.
Just leave the dead air of you searching.
You can play some elevator music here if you like. Shenmue. Aha! So they're crowdfunding it, which is a bit cheap, but there we go. They've raised 3 million. They raised 3. What?
What? 3 million?
Bro, like, obviously, right, I'm sure most people listening are aware of crowdfunding platforms, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, whatever. It's great for business, but who launched it? Let's have a look. Blah blah blah. Just read this to you straight from the article.
Okay.
The newly announced Shenmue 3 now holds the Guinness World Record for the fastest video game to raise 1 million in contributions on a crowdfunding platform. I mean, that's like the biggest, the fastest fat guy to eat 12 donuts while upside down while he has a gold watch on. But still, it's still a dope record, right? They made 1 million. YSNets or Yeesnets, not sure how I'm pronouncing it.
These nuts?
These nuts?
Got him!
Fucking, oh dear lord, that deteriorated quickly. I'm assuming this is the developer, because it's saying, These Nuts' role-playing game raised 1 million in 1 hour 42 minutes, which is crazy, breaking the previous record of 6 hours 5 minutes set by Torment Tides of Numenera in 2013. Blah blah blah. Fastest. I mean, that is on Real Beach Pebbles watch as well.
Okay.
So Sony. So it was the Sony conference. They showcased Shenmue 3, revealed the game's crowdfunding campaign earlier this week. I don't know why they couldn't fund it themselves, but there we go. They're probably still making losses off the PS3.
Right. I didn't see I didn't see that because I didn't see the whole Sony conference. I went out like halfway through.
Sony, though, like, don't get me wrong, the PS4 is a huge step up, both in terms of PR.
When's the PS5 coming, guys?
We will. Is that hypothetical? Hopefully not for another long time, because I've still not got a next gen console, so I want time to grow into it.
All right, yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, the PS4, we can't lie, it is a huge step up from the PS3 in terms of PR at least.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there was actually some thought between getting an Xbox One or a PS4 when I was upgrading.
Surely now though, and what do you have out of interest?
I have an Xbox One.
Yeah, my boy. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But so you will know then, one thing that's kind of non-game related from E3, Xbox One now has backwards compatibility.
Did they add that? Like, is that going to be an update, or do you have to get something separate for that?
That's second-hand information I've got, but it's definitely true. But I don't know the extent.
I know they have the compatibility, but I don't. Like, am I just going to be able to put my Xbox games in and play them?
Yeah, as far as I'm
aware.
really? Yeah,
so,
and you could not only
wait,
that.
Why couldn't we do that originally then? If it's all it takes is an update.
Again, I don't know the semantics, man. I agree with you. That's
is this
crazy.
already on and they just locked it? What is it? Illuminati? What's going on with Xbox?
Google this just now. Right? Get on this. While you're doing that, as far as I'm aware, you can also now play 360 people can play the games online with the Xbox One people, which is also super dope.
That's pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah, and a mate of mine said, well, surely they're going to lose sales.
Oh, yeah, that's really good. Like, if there's cross-platform games on 360 and One, you can play together. That'd be really good.
I mean, I don't know how that would work, especially in an online environment. Like, what if the 360 which it will, has really bad pop-in issues, the Xbox One renders them fine, and then...
Well, I mean, if it's on both consoles, they've worked through that.
Well, you have to think, I mean, this is Microsoft who are really hit and miss, but you have to think they would have fought these issues through. But as I says, I can't say anything because I'm not sure of the extent to which that works. But my brother would probably, you'll probably be able to clarify that. If you want to clarify that, with a picture or a link in the description afterwards, be my guest, brother. Hint, hint.
Oh, you mean on the compatibility?
Know what I mean? Yes, sir. Because it's worth it anyway, because you need to research it anyway. But one of my business partners, Michael Robertson, shout out him as well. He was talking about how this could maybe be a bit of a faux pas for Microsoft, simply because the way he saw it, why would people want to upgrade when they can do this now? But
they can't play Xbox One games on their 360.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
exactly.
and as time goes on, they're going to be making they're going to stop making 360 games anyway, so you might want to get on the upgrade.
That's how I see it as well. Like, I sold my 360 personally, but I can see where he's coming from with that, but I just disagreed with him simply because really the one reason to upgrade will always be, the main reason will always be the software. And it actually now means that Microsoft have to put more impetus on having killer software, and I think that's coming from their conference.
TV, television,
sports, TV. That was still one of the most botched launches of all time, man. But they've turned it around. It looks like
they're doing some good stuff with it now.
Yeah, they're doing good stuff, and they're also doing good numbers as well. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of bullshit sells, a lot of really quirky games don't. But in terms of hardware, the Xbox it's a good thing if your console is selling simply because supply and demand. So it doesn't affect our pockets, but it's still a positive thing. If it's a positive thing really if all the consoles are doing well, man.
Yep.
To be honest with you,
if there's competition, they'll want to have the best stuff.
Yeah, sir. And listen, there's one last thing I kind of wanted to mention. I don't know if you've seen this, but kind of deviating back to Fallout. But did you see the wee Fallout app game that they were talking about?
I did.
Fallout Shelter. Listen, I'm not huge on app games. I'm kind of getting into it just now because I'm moving into the space business-wise. So I'm having to learn it. But that genuinely kind of excited me. I was like, you know what? I don't really play on tablets or phones. But even the concept, even if it, like, don't get me wrong, the Fallout license and the whole Fallout theme helped sell it to me, but even without that, it's kind of dope. It takes elements from SimCity, Todd Howard said it himself. I think it looks pretty quirky. Obviously, it depends on the price point, right? But
until you find out a way to make a vault that traps people in the basement or something.
Kills them all, sex dungeons. Yeah, that will
roller
probably...
coaster tycoon status.
Yeah, exactly.
Trap them all on the exit and then they all die.
There were a lot of people that will probably be the first thing they try to do. It's human nature. It doesn't matter how wide we make the boundaries, we see how far we can push them, man. That's what makes humans great in general. The fact we're not doing that so much these days and we're kind of happy within our constraints is probably leading to the decline of the human race. So there's a positive thought for you over your cereal, boys and girls. But
or their dinner. You never know when people could be watching.
Well, it's dinner time for me just now. I'm actually postponing my dinner to do this. That's the love I got for you, Jess. That transatlantic
thanks, Ziggy.
vibe.
Thanks.
Man,
real quick, did you see Assassin's Creed Syndicate?
I didn't see it, but I heard some people losing the shit over it. It does...
I might have been one of them. I didn't put it on Twitter, though.
I think you were.
I wasn't posting about it,
Let
the
people know why you're excited about this one. This one you're genuinely excited about. I'm not just telling you're excited. Tell the people.
I think it's the setting. I'm interested in going into Victorian London. I'm interested in the fact that you can do vehicles and stuff. For the historical aspect, since I like history.
Fair enough. That was actually a very mature answer.
I think the actual layout of some of the map is actually pretty accurate to the London map also, because I remember there was a scene where they're going around the Westminster area and it looked exactly like I was there before, so it looked exactly the same.
I seen that, man. Shit,
layout.
Let's be honest, right? Jesse is a massive Westminster sympathizer, a total unionist, so that's probably why he's hyped. He's got his pants around his ankles already waiting for this game just for that, see if he can...
yeah, bro.
I
can't wait to go inside, because I didn't go inside when I went there. Man, 2 years ago.
You really should have, but you know what? You got plenty of time. By the way,
a House of Commons tour would have been pretty cool.
Oh, fuck that! I wouldn't be seen dead in there, man. Probably.
You never know, Ziggy. You never know where life could take you. You could end up being a lord. You never know.
Yeah, for what though? Services to podcasting. We'll see.
Lord Ziggy of Glasgow.
It's gone. Nah. I'd like to say it had a ring to it, but no, it really doesn't. But no. You know what would be cool? You know how
the
they
Lord
had...
of Slag.
Yeah, I can fuck with that. I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
Lord of Turning Up, man. I fuck with that. But no. You know how they had Da Vinci in the old Assassin's Creed games?
Yeah.
What if they had, your Charles Dickens and stuff? That'd be kind of dope.
You never know. They usually do that. They had, in 4, they had, historical pirates and stuff.
That was cool. 4 was the last one.
In 3, they had the American historical people.
But 3 was a clusterfuck, let's be real.
3 was... I
hate to just follow the online consensus, but for once I'm actually in tune with it with the Assassin's Creed games, I generally agree with the online consensus on the better ones.
What'd you think of Unity, the one in France?
That I did not play that because I was washing my hair that day. No, honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea. I just think I kind of lost. It was coming out. It was becoming a bit of a cash cow, man, and I just kind of lost interest, man. They were too similar. It was a good game though, right?
It was alright.
Is it Unity?
I still think
really
I still think 4 was better because of the pirate ships and
4
stuff,
was
like
dope.
sailing
4 was
around.
dope.
But it was alright.
4.
It was a better version of 3, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's 4, 2, and Brotherhood are the best ones. Not in that order. I'd say the order's probably 2. No, the order's Brotherhood, 2, and then 4. But no, like Unity, did that not get kind of critically panned? It was unfinished, it was buggy, something like that.
I think the problem was that there were some frame rate issues. I think that was the big thing.
Was that it?
I think that was it. It was just that the frame rate would drop sometimes.
Flame weight, dedicated wham.
Ziggly, please.
Ziggly, I forgot you did that at the start of this shit. Oh god. Well, listen, there was so much that happened at E3 that there's definitely a million and one things we've forgotten to cover. But
there's a lot of things.
Me and Jesse are making a concerted effort to try and keep the timing of these things down.
So yeah, thanks to Ziggy. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to say. Actually, I'm going to be going on a trip.
No, thanks everyone. See you later. Bye.
Shut up.
Okay, on you go.
I'm going on my trip to Nova Scotia next week. This might be coming out before then or after then. I might be there already. Who knows? But yeah, it means New Scotland is better than the old Scotland. The old one's pretty noob.
Wow.
We know it.
You're lucky I'm on the other side of the world right now, bro. Hold me back.
Here's what we gotta do. So I'll go see old Scotland someday, and you gotta come see Nova Scotia someday.
Listen, I'll take the high road, you take the low road, and I'll end up
the old Scotland is the low road. Ha 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 ha.
No, listen, you can take the moral high ground if you like, but I'll take the financial high ground.
Of course, I'm just kidding to all my Scottish fans. I love Scotland.
It's cool. He's deadly serious. He's deadly serious right now. Let's not trivialize.
I mean, Ziggy admitted on Skype yesterday that Ziggy actually hates Scottish people. He admitted it.
Yeah, but I think anyone that knows me is more than aware of that. I love my country, but oh my god, what accent was that? I don't love my country.
I love my country.
I love my. I do love my country, but I don't.
You can only take so many bagpipes and kilts.
The point I was making was, in order of preference, Irish bagpipes, Ebola, ISIS, George Osborne, Scottish bagpipes. Scottish bagpipes sound like shit. in my opinion, man, listen, in my very educated sound production HND, got an A in my college course opinion, just saying they sound like shit. But Irish bagpipes sound amazing.
I actually don't mind bagpipes.
It's probably Irish bagpipes you're hearing. Like, seeing Braveheart, that was Irish bagpipes.
No, I've seen some of both.
Yeah, Matt, listen, one of my boys, Angus, I seem to have a boy for, sounds a bit pedophilic there, but...
Jeez, man, what are you doing? Get off the air.
Man, I've always liked Jimmy Savile, man. No, but you know what I mean? Like what I've got, I'm kidding for the record. But I seem to have someone for every single situation, but my mate, Angus, long-term friend, he plays the Scottish bagpipes. He's really, really good at it, but a shit sound is a shit sound. You know what I mean? That's personal opinion. But you know what? Occasionally, a couple of times a year within the right environment, it makes me feel patriotic as hell. So I still love my country, man. In moderation.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the sort of conversation.
Thanks to Ziggy for coming out to do the show. Thanks to myself for hosting it. Thanks to all the people of E3 for going to E3 and showing off their games. Special thanks to E3, who Ziggy gave, not E3, why would I say E3? Special thanks to EA, who Ziggy gave some harsh words to, but, give them a pat on the back. I'm sure they'll do well in the future. I'm sure they're learning.
That was one of the most groveling to corporates thing I've ever heard, and that was terrible grammar, but whatever, you just groveled to a corporate, nigga. Bam! This is our last podcast ever. I'm fucking with you, I'm a total corporate, so... Hey. But listen, thank you as well to everyone whose anecdotes and stories I blatantly stole from for this. Cheers to everyone that's been helping with the business and whatnot recently. Cheers to Jesse, obviously, for giving us this platform. It's always a laugh. It's always fun. Thank you to everyone that listens. Thanks to everyone that retweets and whatever. And if you want to pass it on to anyone else or whatever and you think they would...
Going on a little long here, don't you think? Hurry up.
I will end by saying... Goodbye to the people that hated on me.
Adios, mi amigo.
Fuck!